Welcome to Wanna Bet, the daily gambling game show that takes betting seriously, but not much else. Get our favorite plays on the totals, sides, props, exotics, and futures to jump on now.
So let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Subject som kräver konstberättar konstfälina. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason.
Let's get it started. Let's get it started, Ben. I'm Jason. That's Ben. I know on my end. Let's get some winning started again. Oh boy, the life of a handicapper. It giveth and it taketh away, my friend. This is Wanna Bet. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Ben and I do this every freaking day. And our main, really, sole only goal is to make money and make money with you guys by finding the best values and the best plays we can determine in the marketplace. First, second, third down are three favorite plays of the day. Fourth and long is really fourth and short, an opportunity for us to cash early in some of these games. We know not everybody wants to stick through all four quarters or both halves or all 9 innings of a baseball game. So we will try to cash quickly. That's been some markets that have been very good to us since we launched this show in May. Overtime, we're continuing to give out college or pro parlays that we have played that we really like, but we do keep score here. Last night was a tough one for me, Beltway, Ben. Maryland, crazy turnover. Malik Washington, who's a stud quarterback, 19-year-old, somehow a self-fumble in the red zone. Drop first down passes all over the place. Drop touchdown passes. Somehow Maryland lets Northern Illinois run 42 plays and hold the ball for over 22 minutes in the first half while averaging just 2.4 yards per carry. 32 runs for 2.4 per carry, and they held the ball for over 22 minutes and a half of college football on the road. Yeah, that Red Sox game had a chance to get Eduardo Rodriguez out in the third inning. The catcher gets thrown out at home on a sizzling base hit where you could have had bases loaded, and Rodriguez over 70 pitches. Instead, the third inning ends at the plate. I could go on. How about the Xavier Worthy injury? Like that didn't completely fuck up the Chiefs' game plan. Oh, and it only happened 3 or 4, minutes into the game, just like I lost Chris Jones or I lost Jalen Carter before the game started. So yeah, things have taken a turn for the worse around here, Beltway Ben. What did you make of last night?
First off, I wish any of our viewers could have seen our text messages during the Terps game. That me and Jason arguing whose fault it was. Jason was pretty fired up.
Who shit the bed more, the offensive coordinator or the defensive coordinator? That's always a fun one to have when you got money.
And when the clock hit 0 in the fourth quarter, it turned out it was both. But
yes,
Xavier Worthy, I mean, you can't make it up. Like, quite honestly, it was pretty clear what the game plan was offensively. I felt good about him coming in. We also had him in that same game parlay. Travis Kelce's trying to throw his shoulder at the defender. He goes down. Then on top of that, right, that kills me. That's 2 legs there. And hopefully you guys did it on FanDuel or DraftKings. You would have gotten a bonus bet back with the new rules, but we don't count that here. We count that as 2 losses. Then Justin Herbert, he completes 2 33-yard completions in the first quarter. I couldn't get 2 more yards. Conklin couldn't put his shoulder down and fight for it a little more. Instead, he fumbles the ball and doesn't try to get 2 more yards. That's unfortunate. And Quentin Johnson, I'm like, run, run, run. He goes out. So we lost both of those. Cardosa cashed for both of us. That was another nice cash for her. Unfortunately, she doesn't play today. We can't steal a unit today with her because she doesn't play today, unfortunately. But it was a tough night. There's no other way.
I think, Beltway Ben, I think the inaugural class for the Wanna Bet Hall of Fame is Camila Cardosa and Quinn Priester.
Yeah.
Where would we be without them?
So. No, literally.
Where would we be without them?
If you look at our combined units right now, it's both of them have at least probably half.
Yeah. It wasn't that long ago I was pushing up 40 units. You want to fade me right now? I get it. I wish I could fade myself. But look, we do this every day. We put time into this every day. It's going to ebb and flow. Unlike most assholes out there, we keep it real. And yeah, I'm excited about this football season. I'm excited about this college football season. We are off to a really good start in college and NFL. as long as the other team, the team that I'm on, doesn't lose their best player in the first 5 minutes of games, I think I'm going to be all right. All right, our favorite plays of the day. You're up first, Beltway Ben.
Yeah, real quick, we did have a comment here. No more freak injuries and player ejections in the first 2 minutes, please.
That's life, brother. Unfortunately, that's the life we've chosen. I wish someone could guarantee me that. Yeah.
And he also said we ride Cardoso to money. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Dude, that's my queen right there.
It has to be.
I got my wife, I got our dog Gigi, and I got Cardoso. That's the holy trilogy of female. Oh, and Chloe. I gotta get my daughter Chloe in there. Wait, I can't. So it's four. It's the Beatles. Chloe's got to be in there.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Maybe my favorite thing about last night, before we move on, though, is so I've got 4 other parlays, multi-team college parlays, where I took the Terps down to 13.5. They always have great kickers. This kid hasn't missed a kick all year. Instead of letting Malik try to get a touchdown at the end that would have covered for everybody, Locksley attempts, with a minute left, up 11 points. He attempts a 37-yard field goal, and the football gods are like, fuck you, Locks, and fuck you, Locking for it. The kid misses it. So the first leg of all these parlays I feel really good about, they're done because Maryland couldn't cover the 13.5 on top of all the other fuck-ups. Dude, the kid had been automatic. Like, when he misses from 35, I'm like, I couldn't even get the 13.5. Just let Malik throw on 4th and 2. If you're running up the score, use your quarterback.
Yeah, that was one of the areas in the Maryland game we did fully agree on. Why not play to get legitimate points? And we're kicking a few. I don't
If you're running up the score, right? If you want it to look good, if you want to cover, then let the kid throw the ball.
It wasn't 4th and 15 either.
It's 4th and 2. From basically the red zone, because it was a 35-yard field goal or 36, whatever the hell it was.
Disgusting. But now we'll move into more college football. I just wish you guys could have read me and Jason's text. The first half we're arguing back and forth, and we both ended up being right because they're both sides of the ball. Killed him last night, but it happens. We are going to stick to college football here today. We're going to UNC. Again, did not want to do this. Bill Belichick, I don't know if you guys saw the prom event on Monday night. There was a prom event. You saw post game. He had the glitter. He had everything. He had everything behind him. Girlfriend on the sideline coaching him up, which I did. I mean, listen, she's got all the right plays. I'm excited to see what she calls today. She's got to get this offense going, and I think she does. But no, Charlotte's defense sucks. There's no other way around it. App State ran 34 up on them, and they didn't even push to run the score up in the second half like they could have. A.J. Swan, former Terp commit, actually. He decommitted, went to Vandy. He's been 5 different places, but whatever. He threw for 368 yards and 3 touchdowns against Charlotte. Like, if that can happen, Max Johnson, who is older than Bill Belichick's girlfriend, he should be able to do it today. He should be able to do it today against Charlotte. Belichick knows he has to make a statement. Like, this dude, listen, if Monday night didn't embarrass you, if you go into, because it's a road game, if you go into Charlotte and lose, she might be leaving you, buddy. And clearly that's all that matters to him right now. I mean, she's on the sideline, coaching him up, whatever. 30.5 points. If we saw App State do it, UNC better be able to do it with the 33rd team that they're claiming they are. I like UNC over their team total.
If Belichick is trailing at the half, does he just skip the whole halftime speech entirely and just stay on the sideline with his girlfriend and just practice all the little poses that they did on the beach? Like, can he, you know what I mean? Maybe he gets her into the flying position or whatever. Maybe they just do that. Just do gymnastics with your girlfriend on the sidelines. Who needs halftime speeches? That's passé. Create a viral moment, Bill. First down, we're going to World Cup qualifiers, which I'm going to admit kicked my ass midweek, including Holland in particular. They blow a late lead to Poland. They possess the ball for 70% of the time. They take like 20 shots. They score once. And then they blow the lead late. Probably the wake-up call they needed. Now they go on the road against a bad Lithuania side. Lithuania struggled, got a 96th-minute penalty kick to tie Malta 1-1. You want to know what happened when the Netherlands played Malta, Beltway Ben? 8-0. 8-0 for the Orange. Holland does have a +10 goal differential very early in World Cup qualifying group play. I expect this to be a spot where they take full control of this group. I'm giving this out today because this kicks off at noon tomorrow, and we're not going to do the stream tomorrow until noon. But look, they're the superior side in every asset of every factor of play. They should be completely locked in after dropping points to Poland at home. I also have this tied to Memphis Depay scoring a goal. I have it tied to Memphis Depay scoring a goal or assisting on a goal. They're going to have the ball in the box a lot. He is their primary penalty kick taker. He's very good at it. And I think Netherlands scores in the first 30 minutes of this game. I'm thinking it's 2-0 at the half. Like, they cannot mess around. They need to be more direct than they were in that Poland match. They're not facing as high caliber of a goalkeeper. So I want to back to Holland again, and I want to get back on the good foot here. Second down, Ben.
I trust
Meatball.
it. I'm going with it.
Thank you, Meats.
This one's going
everybody on board. You know what we need to do? We need to create cutouts of Quinn Peaster. And that's what I'm going to do this weekend. I'm going to do cutouts. If I can't win any goddamn bets, I'm going to get us like a Camila Cardosa on a stick and Quinny P on a stick.
Two legends. I mean, two want-to-bet. When you look, you mentioned it, want-to-bet Hall of Fame. Those two, trying to think if there's anybody else that could possibly slide in.
There's probably got to be. Andrew Abbott was getting close, but then he shot the bed the other night.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah. That was. Oh.
Mitchell Parker?
Yeah.
I nominate Mitchell Parker.
No,
We'll have to work on that. We'll have to workshop that over the weekend.
Okay,
Ted Monachino. Definitely not.
Definitely not in the first half, especially from those text messages.
I want his head on a stick, but in a different way.
Okay.
Mike Locksley needs to put his head on a stick.
We're going UCLA on the money line with a different college football play that I like. Everybody is out on UCLA. I get it. Like, things are ugly. Nico Iamaleava, who I was super high on last year, he had all of that drama happen in the offseason. It was an ugly situation. His dad was trying to force money from Tennessee. Hypo basically told him, get lost, we'll move on. And then he goes to UCLA and they lose 36-10 in their first matchup. But they did have a tough match. It was Utah, and Utah might be the best team in the Big 12. So you look at that, and then you have UNLV on the other side, and like, I can't figure out why this is so tight. I get UCLA looked awful and they struggled. UNLV had they were in a tight match with Idaho State in week 1, and we're on the ropes, quite honestly. They had a very good chance to lose that game. Last week, I mean, Sam Houston State's not very good. They played them fine. I'm not buying them enough. I get they have Mullen there, and you have all these experienced players. I don't really care. I think UCLA is the better team. I think UCLA shows it tonight, and I trust Nico to figure things out against UNLV defense, who allowed 9 plays of 20-plus yards in week 1 against Idaho State. Nico can't figure that out. I think he does tonight, and they get a win against a UNLV team who I don't care if Mullen's coaching there. I don't care if Belichick and his girlfriend are coaching there.
Yeah.
UNLV is not legit.
Second down for me. You and I have been kind of talking about this game off air all week. You got two teams with bad quarterback situations here in Sam Houston State and Hawaii. Hawaii scored 6 points against Arizona. Hawaii lost their starting quarterback. Hawaii looks pretty lost. I mean, Hawaii at home couldn't do much against a Stanford team that I think is the Pits. I don't buy much about Sam Houston offensively as well, and their quarterback's also dinged up. So, look, I'm tempted to take the Sam Houston money line. I think they're kind of game here, but most of all, I think these are two schools already in triage mode. I just think it's an ugly game. I took the number up over 50, took it damn near to 52, and went under. I don't think Sam Houston State wants to play this game with much pace or cadence. I think they'll be content to play a field position, bleed the clock game. And I think Hawaii's kind of playing this one without a quarterback. Again, I think Sam Houston State could win this game. And this has been a kind of an interesting line to monitor all week. But at the end of the day, I'm going under. Sam Houston put up 21 against that UNLV team you were just talking about. Hawaii couldn't get north of 20 against Stanford at home. So we're going under. Third down, Ben.
Third down, we will go to a parlay here for all of college football today. It's a bunch of different money lines. Syracuse, Ole Miss, Michigan State, and Oklahoma. Now, Syracuse, I will say, I cannot figure out a reason that this is a 6.5 point spread. Like UConn, I get it. Mora did turn it around last year, but I was impressed with Syracuse last week. Early on, I'm like, oh, this is going to get ugly. Yeah, it's going to get ugly. They're going to get, boat race. And all of a sudden, it's like they fight back, force some turnovers, play with some energy. And we know how good that coach has been. Like Brown has been exciting there. He knows how to use the portal. He's done the right thing. So I do think they win today. I like the -6.5, not as an official play. The official play here is Syracuse on the money line. Ole Miss against Kentucky. This is a revenge game. Last year, that loss to Kentucky basically put them out of the playoff. We know what Kiffin is, and he's going to want to make a statement here, and I think he might try to run it up on them. Now, these two are the tight ones to kind of get us down. Michigan State against Boston College. We saw that matchup last year, and Oklahoma, Michigan. Michigan State, I am buying what they have. When you bring coach in from Oregon State last year, weren't clicking a ton. And Childs is a very good quarterback. I think he's going to be very legitimate there. But Oklahoma on the money line against Michigan. I played it straight up earlier in the week. We gave it out on here. There's not a favorite, a play that I like more today. Like I think Oklahoma handles Michigan. I'm not buying anything that Michigan has. I don't think they hit the portal right. Under what I think is going to be a legitimate quarterback, and it's easy to say that when he's the number one recruit in the country, but he's young and it's early on. John Mateer, Moneyline Mateer, has been in college for years, since he was, placing those gambling bets that put on his Venmo 5 years ago. But I do think he handles business today, comes out and shows well. The running back is going to be back. Last week it was kind of odd. They gave him a carry in the fourth quarter, and he didn't play the whole game. I didn't really get it. But now the transfer from Oregon State is going to play, or Cal, is going to play. So I do like Oklahoma to win. I like Michigan State, Ole Miss, and Syracuse. And we can get it at plus 331, which is a very good number for me.
I do still have some college football parlays that are still alive, by the way, Ben, that weren't tied to the Maryland -13.5. This is probably my favorite one. So we're going to stay under some key numbers here in 3 of these. And in the fourth, I'd rather have Navy at 13.5 than 14.5. But honestly, at the shop I played this in, it wasn't being offered. And that's okay. So I think Gundy's in trouble. I think Dan Lanning pretty much told you, I'm coming for that ass. Like, maybe I call off the dogs eventually. You want to see just what our Nike money can buy. You want to see how those Nike dollars, how well they've been spent. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you over the course of 3 hours on Saturday afternoon, son. So I'm comfortable under the 17. Again, I've talked about that Navy game this week. We're on that Navy game a bunch of different ways. You look at what UAB couldn't do to stop the quarterback position against a bad quarterback last week. Horvath is the real deal at Navy. Navy's continually running up 48 to 50 points on opponents, especially non-conference opponents at home. That's a really good Navy team that frankly, I think is going to undress UAB today. And then I'm getting these other two under 10. The BYU, that thing's gotten north of 20 now. I think they probably cover that 20.5. I think that's a real tough spot for a bad Stanford team. And you're on that K-State game as well, aren't you, by the way, Ben?
Yeah, the regular spread, I think Kansas State. If they can't beat Army,
Army, Tarleton, we all saw that. So I'm taking that under 10, and we're looking to double our money there. Fourth and short Beltway, Ben.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a college football first half under. And all week I've been trying to figure out what number I'm going to get it at. And today we ended up going with 24.5, and I think that's a fair price for that number. Now, Illinois and Duke, you look at both head coaches. Bielema, defenses are always great. He spent time in the NFL. We know everything he has. And then you look at Manny Diaz. I've called him a fraud. I called him a fraud earlier in the week because we were on this game with Illinois on the money line, which it doesn't feel right. I usually don't go with sides that don't make any sense, but I don't really care. I'm not buying Duke. And again, with Manny Diaz, but his defenses are always good. Duke played under this last week. Elon scored close to nothing, and then Duke, I think, scored 10 to play under. I think it was like a 17 point first half for them. Now, Illinois played over this, but they played Western Carolina. It was like a non FBS opponent, and it didn't really go everywhere. Right. I think this is going to be an ugly game. I think it'll be a lot of defense, not a ton of offense. Genuinely, I don't know if we get more than 2 touchdowns in the first half. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if we have a 7-3, 10-3 type of game. But 24.5, like, the more I look at it, the more I'm like, I cannot believe the number isn't a little bit lower, just with how these teams are. But it's college football. Teams score quick, and the way things go, that's why it is the way it is. But I do love the under here. Both defensive coaches, I think both of them are going to try to muck this up and make it an ugly game. And the outcome, quite honestly, I like the regular under as well. Before the 4th and short play, we're playing Illinois and Duke under 24.5 at -124.
I'm on this game in a couple parlays in a couple different ways. You can check out the Super Discord. When we put up our numbers at the end of the screen, at the end of the stream, you'll see it on the screen again. I've actually got, I'm on Illinois plus 6.5 in some of these. I just to be super safe, although there's no such thing as safe. Nothing about this is safe.
Hopefully nobody goes down in the first 10 seconds.
You never know. 4th and short for me. I've got a little two-leg parlay here. Nothing too sexy. We talked about Oregon, no shortage of motivation since Gundy ran his mouth. Lanning not averse to dropping trick plays and flaunting his whole playbook early in games. That's a real home field advantage that people are going to be fired up for a game that otherwise I don't think maybe they would have been so much. And then Navy. I mean, I watched the UAB defense not be able to shut down an opposing quarterback who threw for over 300 and ran for like 150 on him. And that's not Horvath. Navy is ready to play. The environment in Annapolis, the first kickoff game, it's pretty special. Those kids take it very seriously. I don't think they're giving up much of anything unless there's a special teams breakdown. And I do think they're good for a touchdown, and their kicking game's pretty solid. So give me those two heavy favorites to win the first quarter by a touchdown and extra point each. OT, Beltway, Ben.
Yeah, we're going to be on this game in a million different ways. But here, just Joe Burrow, Joe Flacco,
wow,
to throw for 20-plus yards.
This is exotic, Beltway, Ben.
I mean, yeah, the player specials on FanDuel, they put a lot of different stuff. And there's another player one in there that I might get to tomorrow. It's like the Bengals are scoring each quarter a plus money. Again, a plus money. I think that is a pretty good bet. But I think Joe Burrow and Joe Flacco chuck the ball across the field all damn game. Like, neither of these teams have an awesome run game where they're going to chew 9 minutes off the clock. Like, when the Bengals are clicking, their possessions are 4 to 5 minutes, shot, touchdowns. And Joe Flacco, like, he's going to take a shot all damn game. And some might turn into turnovers, whatever, but they're going to have him throw the football. Stefanski has seen him throw the football a ton there and drag them, a bad football team, to the playoffs just a few years ago. They're not going to get there running the ball. This Bengals passing defense is awful, but the Bengals passing offense is incredible. I do think we get 20-plus passing yards from each of these guys in each quarter. Again, it's not like Thursday night, I was looking at these player passing props, and it's like the Eagles can run 9 minutes off of a clock with their offense. I don't see either of these two offenses doing that. I don't think they can, and I don't think they will here. So I do think we get at least one possession from each side, probably two in most of these quarters.
Excellent. That's interesting. It's interesting. 4th and overtime for me. Again, there's 4 or 5 games that I'm pretty leveraged on in the NFL. And this is one of them, going way back to the spring when the schedules came out. Look, I'll take the Cardinals down to 4.5. If you want to back Kyler Murray, back him early in the season, back him on the road, back him in domes. That tends to play very well for him. I think the Saints are the worst team in the NFL, and I think the Saints are actually starting their worst option at quarterback. Now, I almost threw a Rattler interception in here, but part of me thinks Rattler's so bad he doesn't play the whole game. He might not have enough volume in the passing game to throw a pick, and the Cardinals were not a high interception team by any stretch of the imagination a year ago, although I think with some of the upgrades they've made to the defensive front, I think bringing a Calais Campbell in just from a mentality standpoint and having a defensive-minded head coach, I don't think they let up in the fourth quarter here. I think this is a chance to make a statement. You look at New Orleans against tight ends. They can't stop mediocre tight ends. McBride is more than a mediocre tight end. You know he's going to get his 9, 10, 11 targets. 50 is a reasonable number for me. And then look, the Saints getting to 25 points. Their last 15 games, Beltway Ben, they're over this total twice. 11 of their last 15, they've failed to score over 20. I do think it's an ascending Cardinals defense. I think the Cardinals are going to be able to play keep away a bunch of different ways. So I'm comfortable with that number. I wanted to get it north of 24 just to be safe. So, and I will be back on that game again on our show tomorrow. Let everybody know what's going on here, Beltway Ben. I'm taking my lumps. It is what it is. Time to get back on the good foot. These things ebb and flow. That is the QR code for our Super Discord. You can check me out tomorrow morning from 8 till 11 on BetMGM Game Day, on basically on YouTube, on Twitch. The final hour is streamed on Twitter, on the Odyssey app, Spotify, all that stuff. And then what are we thinking, Beltway Ben? Are we thinking noon?
Yeah, 12 noon. Noon works best.
So yeah, NFL Sundays, we will be doing our Wannabet stream right here at noon. We thank you guys for tuning in. Got a lot of games to get to here this weekend. We're excited about this football season. You want to bet, we want to bet. Thank you for wanting to bet with us.